I'm not really surprised that current research shows that women are far more organised. We tend to have to be, because normally we're trying to juggle family life, business life, so we have to be very organised, know where everything is at any given moment. And they always say that women can do 5 things at once, don't they? So we have to be organised to be able to do that. Well, it's always very difficult for people who have a career and have a family. And I always say that, you know, one of the tricks is sort of to have 2 personalities, to have your home personality and your work personality. And the absolute trick really is not to allow one of those personalities to drain the life out of the other. But I mean, I sit there very often and I have to say, my son's football match and my board meeting, and you know, my daughter's netball match and a board meeting, and unfortunately you can never be in 2 places at once. So it is difficult juggling family and a career. And I think, you know, I love the title working mum because that suits me up down to the ground, because I work and I'm a mum, and those are the 2 most important things in my life. Well, it's interesting that a lot of people think that football is a very male-dominated environment, which of course it is on the pitch and with the footballers, but actually off the pitch there's lots of women that work within the industry. And in fact, I sold Birmingham in October, and when I sold it, 75% of my senior management team at director level were women. And in fact, I've now gone into West Ham, and I've made 3 senior appointments, and all of those are women as well. So the team behind the team tends to be very well balanced and less male dominated than you would expect. When Alan told me that Margaret was stepping down from the role, that she didn't want to do it anymore, I was devastated as somebody who watches the show. I love Margaret, I think she's fantastic, and she's really made that role on The Apprentice her own. And when he asked me to step in, I was obviously thrilled, because when you get asked to be part of the show that you love, it's always, you know, something, you know, very, very, very great. So I was really pleased to be taking over from her. And we did have a sit down and we did have a chat, and she did give me some very good tips, and they all were very practical things, typically, you know, what you'd expect of Margaret. Well, the Junior Apprentice I love. Alan decided to do a Junior Apprentice because he thinks that teenagers get a very bad press. And he wanted to show them and the public that actually being an entrepreneur and being in business is one of the choices that you can make when you leave school. And he wanted to give them a platform in which they could show people how talented they were. And I think The Apprentice has ticked all of those boxes. It's interesting, obviously, as you see the show evolve and the people evolve, you actually see people go on a journey where they learn things about themselves. You know, they come in, they're sort of overly confident and they can do everything. And then suddenly they sit back and realize that there are things that they do need to learn and things that they can improve upon. And actually watching them have, you know, make that journey and evolve and learn something has been great. The differences between the boys and the girls is the girls tend to think far more independently of one another, where the boys tend to have that sort of herd mentality where they just all sort of follow each other. So I think it's been great, and I think the teams are at their best when they're mixed up.